Water transportation, or what many people refer to as a cruise ship vacation, is a growing trend that may pique your curiosity if you're seeking for an alternative mode of transportation or vacation. On your next trip, you might want to learn more about the many advantages and different water vehicles you never thought exist. If you don't want to miss any of these incredible innovations, keep watching the video. Number 1. Helicat. In case you're afraid of flying but love being near the water, this is the boat for you. Its moniker comes from the fact that it looks like a cross between a catamaran and a helicopter, but its creators wanted to stand out for more than just that reason. Despite its rapid speed, this catamaran is designed to remain steady in rough seas. The cabin's maximum capacity is 7 people, including the pilot. However, it can seat just 3 comfortably. The cabin's design includes special vinyl drapes that can be lowered or lifted to keep water out, regardless of the severity of the storm. The catamaran helicopter can be built with either a Yamaha or a Honda engine, depending on the buyer's taste. With its 60 horsepower starter motor, this catamaran can reach speeds of up to 31 knots. The Honda's engine is a tad more powerful, with 90 horsepower and a top speed of 44 miles per hour. The Helicat measures in at a whopping 21 feet in length. It weighs 1.5 tons and has a width of 10 feet. Folding seats and diving and fishing gear are also included on the catamaran. You'll need a net and rod holders designed specifically for fishing. It's also great for deep sea divers because they can dive off the metal platform. Number 2. Platypus Craft. This catamaran has a passenger section that can be raised from the water using hydraulic drives. Thus, the vehicle is transformed into something between an electric boat and a submarine. Divers will need to equip themselves with the necessary diving gear, but they will be able to descend into the water while the boat is in motion. The catamaran can cruise along at an average of 5.6 miles per hour when traveling above water, and can stay submerged for up to 4 hours thanks to its 2 electric engines. The highest possible speed is 11.2 miles per hour. The boat has dimensions of 18.7 by 8.2 feet and a weight of 1,590 pounds. Number 3. Hard Drive Marine. This remarkable vessel, manufactured by a business that specializes in landing craft, can attain high speeds and utilize its bow as a boarding platform. It contains beach crawling spikes to grip the shore and draw itself to it, allowing passengers to disembark without getting their feet wet. When it is time to leave the dock, the boat propels itself away. Not only can these spikes be used as anchors, but certain models can include a modular wheelhouse that can move 12 feet forward and then back. The length of this boat is around 30 feet, allowing it to carry large cargo such as small vehicles. Number 4. Seabreacher. This boat was designed to be an unconventional vessel. For a vehicle that combines a submarine and a hydrocycle, it makes sense that it would look like a shark. Although it measures 16 feet in length and weighs up to 1,350 pounds, the shark boat is surprisingly nimble for its size because of its 260 horsepower. Simple water tricks can be performed with a water jet engine, such as a 180-degree spin, a dive to a depth of 5 feet, and a jump of more than 11.5 feet. It is possible for the boat to travel at underwater speeds of up to 25 miles per hour and at surface speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. An unconventional air intake tube is used to feed the engine, and a second screen is installed in front of the driver's head, relaying footage from cameras on the vehicles outside. 2 sport chairs, one behind the other, secure and shield guests from harm inside the ship's cabin. The front fins may lift and lower the gadgets above the water, while the back fins are in charge of the turns, providing the boat with precise control during sudden movements. Number 5. Schiller Bikes. This unique water bicycle functions similarly to a conventional bicycle. The mechanical force is transmitted through the gearbox to two propellers that allow the user to turn left and right when the driver turns the pedals. The weight of the bicycle's inflatable foundation is 50 pounds, while the bicycle itself is built of anodized aluminum and stainless steel. Additionally, this is one of the few water bike versions that allows backward movement. The speed of the device is 8 knots or 10 miles per hour. Number 6. Gliss Speed. Like a go-kart on the water, this eco-friendly electric boat is a blast to pilot. Even though it has a top speed of 16 miles per hour, you don't need a license to drive it. This small car's flexible layout allows it to carry either a single passenger or a pair, each weighing up to 240 pounds. A full charge will allow the boat to travel at top speed for around 2 hours, but it will take almost that long to charge. The boat weighs 137 pounds, is 4 feet wide, and 8.2 feet in length. The battery can be easily swapped out, and if you buy extras, you could theoretically ride this water go-kart forever. This little electric boat can be operated at 3 different speeds, making it perfect for use in private water parks or as a beach rental. Number 7. Chile Island. Essentially, this invention combines a small electric boat with a chase long. Not fast, but great for a couple's peaceful afternoon on the water. The chair is made of polyethylene and fiberglass. 2 ergonomic sun lounges provide passengers with the full-size comfort of a chair and the convenience of being able to slide into the water with ease due to convenient side grips. A strange structure resembling 3 palm leaves or the petals of giant tropical flowers is suspended above the seats. The electric engine inside the device can run for up to 6 hours before needing a recharge. An easy-to-use trackball takes the place of a conventional joystick in commanding the boat's speed and course. The chairboat has everything you need for a relaxing ride, from cup holders and a mini fridge to a sound system that is Bluetooth enabled and can play music from your phone. A mini computer built into the device is in charge of the audio system and also provides feedback on the battery level. Number 8. Alpha-Centauri. This vessel looks like it was built for Batman, but it was actually influenced by the aerodynamic forms of combat aircraft. The interior of this vehicle has room for 4 people and is equipped with comfortable seating. One of the fastest luxury boats in the world, its top speed is capped at 60 knots or 70 miles per hour. Since it is made out of composite materials that are both strong and light, the hydroplane only weighs 3,640 pounds. It also has a GPS system, a sound system, and 2 subwoofers. Number 9. Scubster. This electrical submarine is comparable to a diving sports vehicle. The inventors of this device intended to make the undersea environment more accessible to people, and they succeeded. The price of this individual submarine is comparable to that of a modest automobile, but is well worth it. The submarine's body is composed of carbon fiber. Up to 200 feet can be reached without taking the diver into consideration. It utilizes an electric motor that is powered by 2 lithium-ion batteries to operate 2 turbines mounted on the vessel's sides. It is notable that a single cabin may accommodate not only the diver but also additional equipment or a pair of interchangeable batteries. Number 10. Quadrofoil. The unique underwater wings on this 2-person electric boat give the impression of flight and decrease water resistance, making the boat feel lighter and easier to propel. At a speed of 25 miles per hour, a single battery charge will get you 50 kilometers. In 3 to 4 hours, the battery will be fully charged. The composite materials used to make the boat's hull make it virtually unsinkable, as claimed by the designers. When not in use, the wings can be folded to save space and are made of an aluminum alloy. The boat is well balanced, so you may turn it without worrying about its capsizing. And that ends our video for today. We hope you enjoyed learning new designed water vehicles for leisure. Which of them amazed you the most and you think would entertain you? Tell us in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content such as this.